In the gym, most people pay attention to one thing, lifting the weight up. But if you're ignoring how you lower it, you're leaving gains on the table. Hi, I'm Alex Mix, professional personal trainer for the past 12 years, and today I want to dive into a topic that could change the way you train. This topic is the eccentric phase of lifting. This is the part that builds strength, control, and muscle like no other, if you actually focus on it. Now, real quick, there are 3 phases in every lift. There's the eccentric or lowering phase of the lift, which is the topic of this video. There is the isometric phase, which is the pause or transition part of every lift. When you think of isometrics, you think of isometric exercises such as planks or wall sits, where your muscles are under tension, but you're not moving. So think of it as that brief period in time in, say, a squat or a bench where you are reversing course. So you're stopping all motion and your muscles are still very much under tension, but you are getting ready to reverse into the third phase, which is the concentric part of the lift. And that's what most people think of when they think of lifting, because you are completing the lift. And so people think that that is the most important part of the lift, and it is very important, but I want to emphasize the eccentric in this video because so many people just focus on the concentric. So when people lift, a lot of times beginners will kind of just let the bar fall down, like say on a bench press, and then struggle to get it back up, or on a squat, they will fall into the squat and then try to push back up. But you want to be able to lower under control. You'll get more out of your lift. For example, a pull-up, lowering yourself down under control will be very beneficial to getting better at pull-ups. You can do the same thing for push-ups. So the 3 phases are eccentric, isometric, and concentric. Now let me give you a more detailed explanation of the eccentric phase and why it's important. The eccentric phase is the part of the lift where the muscles are lengthening under tension. Think about lowering into a squat, bringing the bar down on a bench press, or slowly descending on a pull-up. And eccentrics are so important because they are the phase that creates the most muscle damage, the good kind of muscle damage, the kind we want when we work out. However, it also leads to the most muscle soreness. This is the phase that makes you the most sore. It's why a barbell back squat will create a lot more soreness than, say, a deadlift. Not an RDL, but a deadlift, because a deadlift, you're just worried about lifting the weight up and you kind of just let it fall back down, but under control. So there's minimal eccentric. It's just all concentric. Whereas a squat, you are bringing the weight down under control and then popping it back up. So that eccentric is what really makes those legs sore. And eccentrics will build better control and stability. They will help you absorb more force, which is key for athletes, and it will significantly boost hypertrophy, which is muscle growth. And this kind of goes hand in hand with the fact that eccentrics create the most muscle damage. Now here's an interesting fact. You are actually stronger eccentrically than you are concentrically. This means that you can handle more weight or time under tension when you are lowering rather than lifting. So this can lead to you being able to do some pretty creative things. You have to get skilled first, but think of the stimulus that you could get out of your muscles if you eccentrically lower weights that exceed your 1 rep max. Now, like I said, you have to become kind of advanced to do this safely, but the possibilities are there. You are stronger when you are lowering than you are lifting. So how would an average person implement eccentrics into their workouts? Well, the first way is to do tempo training. Take an exercise and use a lighter than normal weight for it. And what you're going to do is just count 3 to 6 seconds down, a slight pause, and then explode back up. So the emphasis is going to be on the slower than normal lowering of the lift. So for example, a squat, 3 to 6 seconds down, a little pause, and then back up. That is emphasizing the eccentrics, and that's tempo training. The next way would be an eccentric overload set, which would be, for example, taking a bicep curl that is too heavy for you to actually curl, but what you're going to do is you're going to lower it down as best you can under control, and then have someone else help you lift it up, and then you're going to do it again under control. These can be pretty brutal, and they will definitely build muscle. The next way is body weight control sets. These are very much like tempo sets, but you're just using your body weight. For example, for push-ups or pull-ups, you're gonna just emphasize that lowering. On a pull-up, lower down 3 to 6 seconds. For a push-up, lower down 3 to 6 seconds. And that would be an example of a body weight control set. And you would be putting eccentric emphasis into that set. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing these for every exercise in a workout, but maybe choose 1 or 2 movements that you want to improve on, and you can really take those movements to the next level. If you implement eccentrics, you will notice immediate benefit for strength and muscle size. Eccentric training is a great tool, and it fits right into what I like to teach my clients. I like to use a variety of tools to create structured, intentional training plans that build real strength. And I don't want people to just go through the motions. I want them to understand why they're doing what they're doing. So if you're a little stuck, not getting stronger, or just looking to level up, slow it down. Embrace the eccentric phase. Embrace the suck. So hit that like button if this video helped you, and if you've ever used eccentric phase training in your routine, drop a comment below. I'd like to know. Also, I have a ton more fitness, nutrition, and mindset tips coming your way, so make sure you're subscribed. And if you missed my last video, you can watch it by clicking above. And until next time, stay strong, people.